I have good news for Indians who wants to move to Australia without any job offer and without sponsorship because India's name is included in one of their visa category, which is called as working holiday visa. The other countries were already included part of this visa. However, India, China, and Vietnam are the new entrant to this, and Indians are given 1,000 slots for it. It's a lottery system. So if you are lucky enough, if your name is in that lottery, it means you have this golden opportunity to move to Australia without needing a job offer or sponsorship. You're excited, right? If you want to learn more about it, make sure you keep watching the video till the end, as I've invited Victor, who is my special guest, where we'll do a deep dive on this working visa, eligibility criteria, cost, and documents needed. But before we start, a quick introduction about myself for my new audience. My name is Sarika and I have been living in the UK for the last 14 years. I work full-time in IT, and during my free time, I make YouTube videos. I have two good news to share with you guys as well. First is about study abroad service. You guys already know that I can help you study abroad in any of these listed countries. You simply need to fill the form which is provided in my video description and pinned comment, and my team will reach out to you soon. If you don't hear back from them, you can send me a direct email on yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com. Second update from me, I'm launching a job assistance service to help you find a job in the UK. I know many of you are struggling to find jobs and need more help navigating the UK job market. I'll assist you from start till the finish, including job searching, networking, and interview preparation. This is a paid service and I will take only a few students to start with. I offer two packages, one for groups and for one, which is more expensive, one-to-one consultation. If you want more details, you can email me with your CV at yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com. So without any further delay, let's get started with today's video by introducing you guys to Victor. Hi Victor, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy, and if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Thank you, Sarika, for having me here. And the audience, my name is Victor, and I live in New Zealand and have got more than 12 years of experience in providing immigration advice. And so today we're going to share some knowledge about the new visa categories of Australia. And we always make videos and you give us so much love. And we get so many comments and so many questions. And thank you very much for supporting us and supporting Your Knowledge Buddy. And because of your support, we are here again and we are able to share information and knowledge with you. So today we're going to talk about a new working holiday visa. Isn't it like exciting news for India?
Yes, indeed. So go ahead and explain what it means for my audience.
Yes, Sarika. So first of all, I would like to mention here that it's not a new visa. It's been there in existence for a lot of countries. These Western countries, they have a culture basically of encouraging youth to travel and explore their countries. Basically, they want to attract the talent. Like I'll give an example. In New Zealand also, we have options. New Zealand citizens, if they're under 35, they can go and work in Canada for 2 years. They get a 2-year work visa to explore Canada and Canadian work culture, weather, tourist destinations, and share their skills and find employment opportunities. If they are attracted, they want to live there forever. They can apply for a variety of visas. So basically, the purpose of this visa and the existence of this visa is very important to know. It's been there for a very long time in existence for many countries, and people have been traveling. I've met a lot of people, those who come to New Zealand or Australia, and they holiday, they travel around, and they work and they cover their expenses with this visa. So what is new? So we're going to go to that now, jump onto the straightaway information part, what our audience is waiting for.
Yes.
So guys, this visa is new for India. So I'm going to share the screen and share straight knowledge from there on the screen. Just give me a second. All right, Sarika. So now I'm going to cover what is this working holiday maker program and how it is important and how our Indian applicants between 18 and 30 years of age, why they should be excited about this visa. So we're going to cover about that. So this is information about working holiday maker visa on the immigration website. So this is a new ballot process. Ballot process is not applicable for every country. Like the countries like Germany or France or and Singapore, these countries, they do not have to be a part of the ballot because the number of applicants from those countries, they are less than the allocated spaces. But for India, China, Vietnam, as we know, we have more population, more applicants. That's why Australian government has introduced this ballot process, which we're going to cover now. So this holiday visa is covering 3 countries, China, India, Vietnam. They all have their own quotas. Like China has 5,000 spaces, India has only 1,000 spaces, and Vietnam has 1,500 spaces. So there is a cap on this visa. So this visa visa has already commenced on 1st of October 2024, and ballot eligibility. So this is something which is very important, and our audience must pay a little bit of attention to this. So what you need to do is you need to register yourself for the country's ballot system, and you need to have an IMEI account, and for that you need to have an email address. You have to go to the department's website, register yourself, and create a login and password, and then you can put your application or your interest in. So there are some basic criteria which we're going to cover in more detail at a later stage. So age has to be between 18 and 30. So if you are about to have your 31st birthday, then you are not eligible. So you have to keep that higher bracket of the age in your mind. You should have a passport between these countries. So we are mainly talking about India, Vietnam, and China. And also then there is a fees payable of AUD $25. So this is something which people have to keep in mind, that to express interest for this, then there is no guarantee that you will be selected from the ballot. So there is a small risk of 25 AUD. So they have to keep that in mind. So how to register, all the information is here. Registration, working holiday visa. Once you register that, you will be given a registration number, basically. And once you're selected from the ballot, then you'll be able to move to the next stage, which we're going to cover in the next screen. So this is a registration period. So registration is open now. So they are started from 1st of October 2024, and they're going to close end of this month. So this whole October month is available for our viewers to register in this. And once you register, what happens after that? There will be some selection process, and they are randomly selected. So basically, there is no particular criteria on what grounds they'll be selected. We're going to talk about the eligibility criteria to get into this ballot system, but you have to keep that in mind. It's a pure lottery-based system, ballot system. So you cannot improve your chances of getting selected from this. All right. So this is also something, as I just mentioned, you turn 31st year or 31 years of age. So this is a very much technical point. So I just want to take a minute here to explain. If somebody has already turned 31, if they had their 31st birthday, if they've applied and they are not selected yet, then their registration will lapse.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying, Sarika? You have paid $25. You have already applied for this registration, but you are not picked from the ballot before your 31st birthday, then your registration will lapse. But if you have been picked up from the ballot and then immigration has not decided on your application, then you'll be safe. Even if you turn 31, doesn't matter. Still, you will be given this visa. So selection period, that's also very important thing. So selections will start happening from 14th of October till 31st of April 2025. So there will be various selections. So this is about the selection, and you can check your status on your registration on your IMEI account. It will show what's happening into your selection, basically. So as I said, this is active now. As I said, 31st of October is starting, until 31st of October, you have the opportunity to put your ballot in the system. So now, Sarika, I'm going to go and explain. Once you are selected from the ballot, you got successful invitation number. Then what happens next? Next, in what you need to keep in mind, how to prepare an application to apply for this particular visa. So this is the screen now. This is first work and holiday visa. Why this is called first? Because if you work in some specific sectors, then you have the opportunity to apply subsequent second and third time of working holiday visas. So first of all, let's concentrate on the first working holiday visa. That's more important for our audience. So guys, the duration of this visa is 12 months, and the cost of this visa is $650. So just to clarify, $25 was just to register your interest. Once you are picked up from the pool, you are invited to apply for this visa. Then you need to pay $650 to prove your eligibility and get this visa. So you cannot accompany your family cannot join you in this visa. This is also something very important. In nutshell, I'm just giving some ideas. Then we're going to go in more detail about the things which you require to apply for this visa and how you can be eligible to apply for this visa. All right, now let's jump on to eligibility. This is something which is a very important aspect for our audience to keep in mind. You must have a passport. That's a common understanding people have. 18 to 30 years of age. That's also self-explanatory. This is something which is like not much important for our audience if they are applying for the first time. So you must not have previously entered Australia on a 462 working holiday visa, working holiday visa of subclass 417. Now this is applicable to people, those who are from already been in Australia on this visa. They cannot take opportunity and apply for this visa. So this is what it means. They are excluded. The people, those who are already having a visa, they are excluded from this policy. To give people. This is something important, Sarika. Meet our education requirements. So country-wise education requirements are mentioned, and India, you must have successfully completed at least 2 years of post-secondary study. So it means if you have done class 12th and if you have worked for 2 years, or if you studied for 2 years at a diploma program, advanced diploma program, or a degree program, you're eligible. If you have done a 10th class and after that you have done a vocational program like ITI in plumbing, electrician, air conditioning, refrigeration, or anything similar, or maybe something agriculture related program you have done, then still you can be eligible in this criteria. You can meet the criteria of education. After education is met, there is another important criteria where you have to be mindful. To make that application, you need to have an English language ability of 4.5 bands. For the registration, it's not required, but for the main application, you need to demonstrate functional English, which is 4.5 bands in English and IELTS, or PTE. You can choose whichever you feel comfortable with. Have a letter of support. That's not applicable for countries like India. It's not applicable. And it's for basically countries where the military is compulsory, or war zones, or some African countries. It's not applicable in our case. Again, the important factor here is, which I'm just highlighting the points which are relevant to our audience, Sarika.
True.
Have enough money. That's a very important factor. Applicants need to demonstrate that they have access to 5,000 Australian dollars to be able to comfortably come in the country and maintain a decent lifestyle, to maintain the bare minimum lifestyle for their duration of stay in the country. And these are basic requirements of health and character. They need to provide a medical from the panel doctors of Australia. We can help with those things. We have to give them some information about their medical, so they can take that medical number and go to the doctors. And the other thing is character requirements, which means they have to have a clear police record. This is also a very important factor, Sarika. Not had a visa cancelled or an application refused. So this is something which is important. So if they have a like adverse visa history, then it can be a problematic thing. So regarding if you are meeting these conditions, then you, like, applicants can have a better chance to be eligible under this visa category. But again, keeping in mind the cap, the threshold for India is only 1,000.
Yes, true. Yeah.
Any questions?
No, I'm just comparing it with youth mobility visa that we have it in the UK. Yeah. So for Indians, we have around 3,000, I think, spaces which are allocated for Indians. There's no fees for registering, which is for the first stage. There's no fees at all because it's a lottery system and they don't want to put any fees around it. And then I think there's a major difference around, like you said, this is only valid for 24 months, right? Like 1 year. Sorry, it's only for 1 year for Australia.
12 months.
However, in the UK, this is for 2 years. And I think the next difference which I noted was like the vocational training, other bits that you mentioned. I don't think that's mentioned for the UK. UK's youth mobility visa, I think they have mentioned you should have at least like a diploma or a higher diploma or bachelor's kind of thing. That is like a must. And they have also mentioned there's no need of English language requirement because they have said if you're already a bachelor's or diploma holder, it's assumed that you have studied in English. I think those subtle differences which I have seen, but of course it's a lottery system. I think I will encourage anyone and everyone who is eligible, they should at least give a try. Again, $25. I don't think it's a huge money. If someone who want to take advantage of moving to Australia, go and work, take this opportunity. What do you say?
Definitely, Sarika. This can be an option, but it cannot be the final destination for our applicants. And I will encourage them to keep your options open. If you have your financial resources sorted, if you have your education already sorted, you must explore other opportunities like skill migration category for Australia or New Zealand, or you can explore about a tourist visa, student visa. Other opportunities are also there. So keep this option as option only. And I just want to mention here about the subsequent visas. As you said, UK has a longer duration. In Australia, those who are entering on this visa for 12 months, they will have an opportunity if they work in the specified sectors. In the first 12 months, if they work for 3 months in the sectors which are in very remote parts of Australia, if they're working in the hospitality sector there, or if they're working in the agriculture sector, basically. And so the purpose of this visa is to fulfill the temporary skill shortages or seasonal worker requirements.
Right.
So at the time of harvesting in Australia, in the time of bushfires or natural disasters, if these people have worked in those areas, then they will be eligible for a subsequent visa for second subsequent visa if they worked in for 3 months in the first 12 months, and they will be eligible for a third visa as well if they have worked for 6 months in total for the specified sectors. So those options are there.
What do you
But
mean
again,
by
it's a
third?
ballot system.
Yeah, sorry, Victor. What do you mean by third visa? I mean,
So basically, 3 visas.
okay.
So there are 3 opportunities of this visa. So first of all is the new visa, which there's the working holiday visa. Then they can apply for a second subsequent visa if they have worked in the first 12 months in for 3 months in the specified sectors. And then they will be eligible for a third holiday maker visa as well if in total they have worked for 6 months in the specified sector.
So 3 times they can have their visa roughly for 3 years then?
It will depend. So the second subsequent visa could be for 6 months.
Okay, it can be. Okay, we don't have those categories in the UK. They have kept the rule simple. It's for 2 years. During that period, you're allowed to study, you're allowed to work, whatever you want to do. Or if you just want to enjoy being in the UK doing nothing, if you can support yourself, okay, you can do that. But there's no.
Why, from our perspective, why we think it's a great opportunity is because a lot of people, when they want to find employment in Australia, if they're sitting offshore, they're sitting in any other different parts of the world, it's very hard to click or very hard to convince an employer to support them. So, guys, my recommendation, once you get this visa, go to Australia, explore your skills, go and meet employers and try to impress an employer to support for an employer assisted visa if they can do that for you, or explore your opportunities to apply for residency in the country. So there are plenty of other opportunities. We have a lot of state nominations availability here, employer nomination availability here. So definitely they can understand the visa process better. They can understand the demographic and the geographical areas of the Australia. And if they're happy to go into the basically a very rural part of Australia where the population growth is low, then they will be able to make Australia their permanent home, definitely.
Okay, and they're allowed to switch their visa within Australia, right? If they find a company who's ready to sponsor, they can switch within Australia, right?
See, Sarika, what happens is that different type of visas. Most of the visas, they allow people to work a subsequent visa in Australia. Only few visas are there where it is not allowed to apply for a subsequent visa inside the country, but most of the visa allows. And as this visa is a multiple entry visa, while remaining on the valid visa, you can apply for subsequent visas.
Okay, makes sense. So I think this is a good opportunity and people should take advantage of it, Yeah.
Definitely, Sarika. And we wish all the best to our audience.
And anybody who require any help, legal help, you can reach out to Victor. Just email me on yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com and I'll put you in touch with Victor and his team. Thank you very much, Victor, for coming and sharing your knowledge with my audience.
Thank you very much, Sarika. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.